What's up, guys? That's Sdanwolf, and we're back in Wilderness Springs. And this episode is a little bit of a cleanup episode, kind of tying up some loose ends, getting some fencing put in, doing some vegetation work. One of the biggest things that we'll take out of this, out of episode 7 here, is I've kind of come up with a little show building, like a palace theater, like you see on Show Street, right there right as you walk into Dollywood. Wanted like one of those old time looking theater buildings. So here in just a few minutes you'll see we start that. But yeah, I've got some more ideas flowing with this now, particularly since we've gotten Twin Peaks Mine out of the way. That was kind of holding me back there for a while because I had kind of teased it for so long, and we were bouncing back and forth from it for a few episodes, and had the construction walls up for a long time, and it feels really good to have that done. You guys, if you haven't checked out the POV, go back a video, you'll see it turned out really good. Not totally as smooth as I wanted it to be, but it's still really like you'll see. We'll go ahead and we'll look at it at the real-time section at the end of this. So if you want to skip forward to that, it's a little bit after the 15-minute mark, pretty much when the time lapse wraps up. But it really has a sense of weight to the area. It really has a good presence right there on the other side of the Barnstormer ride, and it's really kind of cool the way that I designed the sight lines and the angle it sets on. And you'll see not right here what you're looking at, but here in just a minute, a few seconds, I put up some trees. Really went with the way I put the trees up is where the reveal point, you really have to make your way around this corner a pretty good ways before you get that big reveal. So it wasn't more so like Barnstormer, where it was designed to see it from all over the park or from the main entrance. There's the two trees up there as I'm putting the fence in, and you can't tell when I'm slowing down right here, when I'm going fast here, but I'll show you in the slowdown. That reveal, I think, would be really cool. Right here, you just probably saw it flash by. Check that vision point a lot, and I think as you round that corner, that would really be a good photo op. Would really get people, really get people hyped up to, go ride Twin Peaks. And yeah, like I said, it really added some really interesting weight to that area. It's what I wanted out of it, but I didn't expect it to turn out that good. Just the whole scale of it. And that's why, it's never bad to go back and second guess your work, because you remember, if you kind of followed through some of the episodes and some of the Twitter posts, it had a lot of different track layouts, and it originally only had one drop, and there was a quote I saw that just fits perfect with the whole Twin Peaks, and that was good designing is good revising. And I thought, when I read that quote, I was like, that they were meaning me designing Twin Peaks Mine in Planet Coaster in 2018 when that quote was thought up. So definitely the revising on that, and it's really like this whole project has been a really neat growing process for me in a sense of not rushing myself anymore. But it's weird, like I am rushing less, but putting out more consistent content because the content is just flowing more naturally. Like before, I would just rush and I got to get something to put on Facebook, or I haven't put a picture on, Instagram in 2 or 3 days. Let me just build this facade real quick just to get something on there. And really leads to rushed, kind of lazy design work. And I'm not rushing, but it's lending itself to better designs. It's like I am not trying as hard to impress you guys with this park as I have with past builds. Even as far as I would say, I love the water park build that I've got, and I was just in that map a couple days ago, kind of just zooming around, trying to get some ideas for it for when Wilderness Springs wraps up. But I really don't have a time for when that's going to wrap up. A couple people were asking me, am I working on anything else during Wilderness Springs? And really, I know that we've got the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train going. We've got the Pride Rock going. We've got the Pride Park. I've really been leaving those alone lately because I'm putting in such good work on this park. It's one of those deals where I think if I were to move back to one of those other ones and ideas start sparking off, this park, it might turn into a Geyser Springs where I, kind of revert back to it maybe once every 3 or 4 weeks until I finally just stop building on it. I abandon it, call it done, and throw it on the workshop. So this has been, like I mentioned, a real growing process for me to just slow down, not jump around as much. And the analytics and the channel and the views and my engagement with you guys, like you guys never really commented or have been so invested with a project like you have Wilderness Springs. The numbers don't lie. The engagement and your all's feedback and participation and just your overall interest in this is like nothing I've ever put on the channel. Like I think I started this back in 2013-ish maybe. I think that's when I started this whole mess. I didn't really upload until like 2014, but I've had a YouTube since 2013 and never since Wilderness Springs has come along have I been able to drive this much engagement, like people even messaging me on Twitter. I'm on the Lady Signers Discord and the Bro Coasters Discord. And I'm thinking about creating my own coming up soon. Thought that would be pretty cool to have kind of just a wolf Discord. And I just, the level of enthusiasm that you guys have for this park is really, I think, what's changed my process up and my attitude. And you remember in the earlier episodes, I said, if this is something you guys are interested in, if you want to see a realistic park type build from me with a little more dialed back budget, let me know. You guys definitely did. And it has really been a fun go at this park. A lot more, I kind of approached it in the beginning like, I built the entrance and everything felt good. And I just, for some reason, have just been rolling with this park. So I am still having a ton of fun. I've got a bunch of ideas. When we get to the slow down section, I think it's time. I want to do like a Smoky Mountain River Rapid type, like a jungle raft type, or not jungle, but, wilderness raft type ride. And I think I've got a pretty good spot picked out for that. I think now that we have the main show street and the Emporium, we've got the 50s area, and I've got a little sneak peek at that too. I think I've already planned out a 50s area expansion. So you'll notice here in a little bit we put up some red construction walls because I got to get a car ride in there. I was looking and I was thinking about it and I'm like, man, this 50s area, it is lacking something. It's lacking some of that magic. And I think I've got a cool idea for an upcoming like little car, like maybe even it's a track ride. Was thinking track ride, go-karts per se yet, but a track ride with the cars. I just really think we can get a neat little course put up over there, and that would make me feel like that area is a little more justice was done to that area. But yeah, just going back to what I was saying, I think now that the coaster is done, the first coaster, and the more of the layout is done, I think the rest, like where I've been thinking about putting it, is really going to complement the park really, really well, and it'll diversify the park. So now, we'll have a water ride, and I eventually too want to go back and find a place for a good log flume. But I was watching a lot of YouTube and using a lot of Google Maps, kind of just looking down on Smoky Mountain River Rampage. And ours won't be Smoky Mountain River Rampage, but I kind of like that. I like the ring that has, like that raft kind of ride being, I was even thinking maybe Wild River Rampage, and in Homer's Creek you can even see. When we do the slowed down version, I did a little bit of work, but that'll be more recorded for episode 8. Extended the creek, brought it around. I've got the magic. I've created this really cool peninsula. I'll show you here in a minute. That'll be a little bit of a spoiler for episode 8, but it's already it's already in the park. So I'll just go ahead and show you during the slow time, so you kind of know what to look forward to. But was able to set that out on a really cool peninsula, with Homer's Creek kind of wrapping around it and bending back, bending towards the park. And I've just like I said, I almost get to that point where I'm like almost a little worried, and I must have walked away from my computer here for a few minutes, because I know we've been stuck on this fire truck for like 30 or 40 seconds now, but well, you guys, you don't care. I really think that I'm just firing on all cylinders with this park. And like I was going to say, I had about a week ago, I was like, I wasn't like bored with it, but I think I was just bored in general. Like, I didn't feel like playing the video game. I just kind of felt like just laying around upstairs on my phone. I didn't really do much of anything. And so I don't really want to contribute that kind of couple days of laziness to the park. It wasn't like I built on other things and just left this park. I didn't touch the game at all. So, sometimes I have those days, but as far as design aspects go, I think this is working out really, really well. And I think you guys will notice it too when we get to the slow section. I think I picked out a really, really, really good spot for the Palace Theater. It just, it flows with the Emporium and the pizza shop and the fire station. It all just, it seems like every one of these buildings I try, they just fit in perfect with the whole theme. So went ahead. I wasn't even thinking. I put in a wheelchair ramp right there, because both sides of that were stairs, so there was no handicap access. So wanted to get that put in there. But other than that, the whole design of the Palace Theater, I think, come out really well. I think it goes with the Americana colonial type design. Got a little backstage access here that I go ahead and fence off for employees only, kind of their back way into the stage and all that stuff. So yeah, like I said, this episode was mainly tidying up. You'll see here in a minute, we'll go to that here in just a minute or so. You will see a little bit of episode 8 spoilers. Right here is where I kind of get rid of these bushes and the gas pumps and start putting up the construction walls. And got some plans for the 50s expansion. It happened a little quicker than I thought it would, but as far as pulling back and like looking over the whole park landscape, the 50s area is missing something. Like, it's not, the area is, it doesn't hold enough weight for what's going on in its little turn. So we are going to go in and fix that, and we're going to get some rides back there. Was even thinking about maybe like a small kid type coaster, really, really, I'm talking junior, maybe type car themed coaster or something over here. I was thinking to kind of complement that area. Nothing major yet, because we got to work on a couple other things before we move on to another big coaster. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and I shortened the time lapse a little bit. Come in right at 15 minutes because I wanted to spend a little bit of time going around in slow, in normal time, and giving you guys a sense of, and giving you guys. So let's go ahead and hop over to that before we wrap this up. All right, guys, now we'll take a little bit of a slowed down look. So yeah, you can see over here off to the left, this is the new Palace Theater. So, not really a whole lot to it. Just kind of went with that, the old school type of, like I said in the time lapse, the Dollywood colonial, Americana, type vibe. So, and see what I was saying, like if you look at the Emporium and the pizza shop and the fire hall, see how everything, it looks like really just really cohesive kind of stretch right there. Like, I guess, you could probably even switch out the Emporium with the Palace Theater and have that like first, because that's really kind of how it is when you go into Dollywood. Like, say my entrance little area right here is Dollywood. Right when you walk in, the Palace Theater is straight in front of you. It's where the Dollywood sign is. It's where where all the camera guys try to stop you and take a picture. They try to get you to buy when you're leaving. And the Emporium in Dollywood actually would set almost over here where Calhoun's is at, and you make your way out of the back of the Emporium to where the trams and stuff wait to take you back to the parking lot. So that is the tram area is our 50s area. So we just kind of, I think it all flows. I think it flows really, really good. And like I said, I've got the construction walls up now on the 50s area because it's just like we are missing something over there. And I think that something could come in the form of a cool car ride, and I can kind of bend the path and continue the street on over that way. Can probably get some different facades going and all that. So there's more to come for the 50s area. This is the little. I know some of you guys are probably like, yeah, but that magical thing doesn't really fit with the park. Well, it's kind of like I wanted to do like a haunted house kind of facade. It may even might not even turn into a real ride as much as like an implied ride. And I was figuring maybe that could go across the creek over here when I'm finished with it. But I just really like the idea of this, another ride kind of setting out on this peninsula with Homer's Creek. Weaving its way around it and then making its way back more a little towards the center of the park. But here is that vista point, or like that viewpoint that I was talking about. So see how you can kind of see it. You're walking through here. Let me hit play real quick. You can kind of see it. You're walking through here. Those trees are just in the way, but right when you round this corner, it's just like, bam, there is Twin Peaks. So I just thought that that the way it's laid out, it just worked out really, really cool. The only thing is this little back section, it is pretty much hidden from most people now. I mean, I've got the little sitting area here, but for the most part, the back area. But, this is the most exciting up here anyway. So I think this is what, this right here is what most people would be wanting to, to stand here and watch. So missing out a little bit on the back, I don't think that's, not too much of a biggie. And then, of course, you've got the station over here and the fast pass and the regular entrance. And I don't have a priority queue set up over there. I just kind of did the little fast pass sign for show. But let's see if they're down in here. See, even if they're down in here, dueling daredevils, they can maybe look over and see it. But the whole vista, like that whole presentation, I think is really, really cool. Because, and even if you're right here, you can kind of catch a glimpse of it, like if you're in line for this food and stuff over here. But you really, there's the rock climbing wall. Yeah, you really have to pretty much make your way. Watch out of the way, King Coaster. You pretty much have to make your way to this main point right here, and to really take in all of Twins Peak. And really, it seems like it's pretty reliable too. I think I've only had one breakdown since I've had it going, so the guests really gravitate back to it. They just seem to absolutely love it. I know it's, possibly because it's the only coaster in the park right now, but still they really seem to enjoy it. I know another thing I need to work on, you guys, we need to get us a sign going, like an actual Fight or Flight Gamer was telling me. A couple people were saying we need a good Wilderness Springs sign, and we also need a good sign that identifies Homer's Creek here. So, because we know this creek plays a big part, with the layout of the park, and with all the with the crossovers. I didn't quite get that bridge low enough because their feet are kind of being cut off when they make their way over that particular bridge. But yeah, it's really cool how we've got it laid out here. Like each little section, it doesn't go very far. And you have another access bridge. So up here, this being the newest one, people can access, like I said, the new flat ride, bathrooms, first aid kit, and the some of the shops and stuff. I need to get more staff in here. I laid down that blueprint, but I do not have enough staff hired right now to cover that. So it's really not pulling people over that way too much. But yeah, guys, so this is pretty much it. This is, what is it here, January 17th? So January 17th, this is the latest build of the park. What I was talking about in the time lapse, I think maybe it'd be good to start a good water ride probably over here behind I was kind of torn between putting the water ride over here and behind the rock climbing wall. Rock climbing maybe complement Twin Peaks a little bit. But, I already have a pretty good pool of people over here. So I was also even thinking about maybe out here past the 50s land, just to kind of help development out this way. Kind of wanted to save the haunted facade for over here. And of course, paths and stuff will eventually make their way over here to this side of the creek. But kind of wanted to keep the creepy, the haunted house facade over there near the darker kind of creepy flat ride. So I don't know where that first water ride's going to go. I always could save this area for a cool log flume kind of tie-in, but we'll just see. This part right here I think would be really cool. I think it just kind of lends itself, I think it would lend itself good to a good raft ride. So I don't know, we'll just have to see how it goes. Let me know your guys' thoughts on it. But that is my next big goal, is to probably get some more construction walls up in episode 8. And start us the park's first water ride. So anyways, guys, I'm going to get on out of here. I'm Sdanwolf. Smash that like button if you end up enjoying this video, and subscribe for more Planet Coaster content. I know some guys were saying that you all didn't get notified soon. It was like a night later before you knew episode 6 was out, and Twin Peaks POV was out. So don't forget to tap your notification button. I don't know what was going on with that, but a couple people told me that. So yeah, just hit the notification button, and you will be notified every time I put out some more weirdness. So yeah, thanks for coming in, hanging out with me in Wilderness Springs, and I will catch you in episode 8. Thanks, guys.
Hey!